It's maintenance day, people. Welcome, Rob here at Arcadia Everything, and we are going to do some maintenance today on our printers. We obviously have our printer farm. I'm sure you guys have probably seen our other videos. One of the key things is definitely maintenance on these Bambu printers. We pulled one out for you today. We're gonna walk over to our bench, and actually we're gonna do two today. We try to keep up on them. It's very important that we get the maintenance done on these things for them to operate properly and have good prints. So let's come on over here. This is our little bad boy, number 8, that we're gonna work on today. All right, we got some things here that are pretty necessary for cleaning these things. If you wanna take a look over here, you do have the option, I guess we have the option of using little alcohol swabs. These are isopropyl alcohol, 70%. We like to use these on the carbon rods just because they're pre-moist. We can rub them on there and clean those off. We also have a bottle of isopropyl alcohol. Q-tips are pretty important for the LiDAR. A lot of times you'll see that the printer actually talks to you about some of the maintenance that it needs, but we like to stay up on it. Actually, when you come to your screen, which ours is off, most times it'll give you a warning saying that carbon rods may need to be cleaned, or the LiDAR detector is dirty and can't read it properly. So we're gonna go through this together and try to hit all the points. Other than that, we do have a rag to wipe off our old grease. We have some clean rags. We have some duster, some Surf-On. We have the Allen wrench that comes with the kit. That's gonna loosen up our belts so we can move that freely. We do have a little light just so when we're getting in there, we can actually see what we're doing. And so you guys can see. So let's get into it. Actually, you can see right now that our Z-axis, is that good enough light? Our Z-axis is pretty dirty. You can see that the black on there of the grease. So we're gonna wipe all 3 of those down. Make sure you remember that there's 3 because we got that one in the back. We are going to, so we're gonna take care of our Z-axis. We're gonna take care of our carbon rod cleaning. We are also going to clean our glass. Because we use a lot of ABS, we're gonna clean our upper glass, our side glass. You can see that the ABS has a lot of off-gassing. So we're gonna clean that. It just helps with the overall morale around here. And we're gonna also dust out, we're gonna blow out the fans, make sure those are nice and clean, as well as clean probably the bottom of this tray. Okay, we just turned this thing around. First thing we're gonna do is come to our back belt tensioners. These are the tensioners for the X and the Y axis. So the reason why we're gonna loosen these up with these 4 Allens is so that we can move the head freely. It just makes it a lot easier to do for maintenance. I'm gonna pop these loose. These are pre-tensioned and they are self-tensioning, so when we're done with their maintenance, we're gonna come back here and retighten those. While we're back here, we're also going to take off our AMS. And now we found this little print online for free. It's the AMS disconnect tool. Really nice and unique tool to get these things removed. Because the clip is on the back side of this cable, it's really hard to get that loose. So this side of our tool, we're just gonna slip this straight up from behind and we'll be able to pull that straight out. Really convenient. Also on the other side, we'll get our little tube off of here. So we're just gonna press that and that'll come off nice and swiftly. We're gonna set this aside. We will also do a little maintenance on this after our printer. We'd like to kind of blow it out, vacuum them out, check our bags in there, and make sure there's no debris that has fallen in there. So after that, just to make it easier, we're gonna pop our glass off. Again, you can see all of our ABS gunk is on there. So the first thing we like to do inside of the unit is actually clean off our carbon rods. I'm gonna grab our little isopropyl alcohol pads and some rags. And we're gonna see how dirty these things are. Now this printer was asking for maintenance on the carbon rods, and about the time that we got these things and they've been running, it's gonna need it. So we're gonna take our little isopropyl pad, We're gonna run across here. I'm kind of giving some pressure, and I'm going to do both of these about halfway. Clean them up. Yeah, you can see a little bit of debris. And what I'm gonna do is run the head back and forth across that isopropyl alcohol. And what that's gonna do is kind of get that isopropyl alcohol in the bearing portion of the head and kind of try to clean that out as well. So again, I'm just working this one side. You can see I'm getting more and more of the gunk, as well as probably some graphite and carbon from the rods. I'll do one more with this, and then we'll move over to the other side. Like that. Go ahead. Clean rag, wipe these off. Very nice. Okay, move over to this side. Same thing. And wipe these rods down. Now these rods do not need to be lubricated at the end, and you do not want to. It'll create too much friction, and you'll have a lot of issues with your printing if you try to lubricate these carbon rods. Move this back and forth again on this side. You can see that we picked up some more. Go ahead and wipe off this isopropyl alcohol. Really try to find a rag that doesn't leave lint. Okay, we'll do one more across the whole thing. Just to confirm we are clean. Do this as many times as you need till your towels come off nice and clean. Out there, we're just gonna give it a wipe down. Now Bambu Labs does recommend that after you clean these rods to run the head back and forth, which is another reason why we loosened up those tension rods in the back. Makes it a little easier to do this process, but they do say after you're done cleaning these rods that you want to cycle this back and forth. About 20 times. Okay, everything feels really good. I'm just gonna set that back for now out of the way. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is clean off our horizontal rods as well as our vertical rods. So I'm just gonna take a blue rag. You can see on these Z-axis rods there's a lot of dark grease. It's a light grease. Just gonna go ahead and clean off all the dark stuff and replace it with some new stuff. This back one's a little tough to get to. I'm gonna reach in here, I'm just gonna wipe off what I can. Okay. Okay, for our vertical Z-axis, we're gonna use some Super Lube multi-use synthetic lightweight oil. And I'm just gonna put a little dab, let it run down, top and bottom, on all of these. Now, after we do this and we clean our glass, we're gonna turn it on and cycle the bed so that the lead screws soak these things up. Okay. Again, we're just gonna check our axis here, clean it off, make sure there's no filament, no particles, stuff like that. They're a little dirty, so we're gonna go ahead and wipe these down. While you're in here, also a good thing to do is, which I've encountered sometimes, is loose screws. Just since you got it all open and you're doing maintenance, go around and check, make sure the screws are loose. Sometimes these things come with loose screws, sometimes they work themselves loose because of the vibration of this thing. so it's a good thing to do. Once those are wiped down, I'm just gonna take a little bit on a clean part of our towel. Go ahead and just wipe a little bit on there. Don't need to overdo it. You don't want the lube sliding off and falling into the print area. Take note, you also have vertical guide rails as well. And go ahead and just add a little bit to that. We're gonna want our isopropyl squirt bottle. Say goodbye to the little smiley face. Another good indicator, we're logging all of our maintenance on our printers because we have so many, so it's not really an issue for us, but a good indicator is when these glasses get foggy, it's really time to do some maintenance on them. See, pretty good. A couple handprints. Then we're gonna move on to the top glass. Okay, that's good. Looks good from here. We're gonna go ahead and set this up here for now. Before we forget, we're gonna take our Q-tip, grab a little bit of alcohol, and we are going to clean our LiDAR. I'm gonna pop this cover off. Now, initially, before I researched it, I thought it was over here, but actually the camera portion of it is right here underneath our cover. So you just pop that magnetic cover off, clean that up, some alcohol, use the dry side, clean that off, and then finish with a little rag. That's good to go there. Set that back dead center. Okay, before we turn it on, we're actually gonna come back here since we've done most of the maintenance on the inside. And we're gonna retighten our belts. Now just remember, when you tighten this, you wanna have it back to all the way to the back wall and centered. And it does do a fairly good job at tensioning these belts just right. You can see here, I try to make these look pretty even. You can see that they were a little off, but we'll see that in a second when we run our belts. So we're just gonna tighten those. Tighten those up, and I'm gonna jog the head. We're gonna watch as these pulleys go by. You can see that pulley's favoring the bottom. So we're gonna actually adjust this a little bit. You can see here that the bottom is actually in further towards the right. So we're just gonna kinda give it a little push and retighten. And we'll do it one more time with a little bit more adjustment. Just gonna give it a little tug. Bend it back down. You don't want to tighten these too much. I've heard instances where they do strip. Okay, it's not totally pressing down on that bottom. I'm gonna come over here and probably do the same thing. I can see it already. Loosen that bottom screw. Give it a little push on the bottom end. Trying to get these pulleys a little more parallel to themselves. Could use just a little more. Favoring the top just a little bit, so we're going to back that off just a hair. Okay. There we go. I don't see it fully rubbing on the top. So that's good enough. You're never really gonna get those perfect. There's so many pulleys in this thing. So these are tightened back up. Our tension's good. We'll go around the back. Obviously with it plugged in, we'll turn it on. Give it a little shake down. Remember we put the lube on our lead screws. We're gonna jog everything. A very good note when you get this thing put back in its place, when you're getting ready to use it as a printer again, you do want to recalibrate everything. For now, we're going to go to our settings and we are going to home everything. Let it do its thing, and then we'll go ahead and jog our Z-axis. That's giving us our warning. We did not clear our thing yet, so we're going to press done on the carbon rod cleaning. I'm gonna take it all the way down, kind of even out all of that lube. Okay, we'll come back up. Okay, next we're gonna move over to the AMS. This thing's pretty easy, low maintenance, but I do like to get in here every time we do a full maintenance on our printers. Make sure there's no loose filament pieces. We like to check our little incandescent bags. And I always throw, as you see, I'm digging them out right now, some spare ones in here, just for some added backup. These come with every filament spool that we get, so I might as well just use them instead of throwing it out. Now these things you want to check, make sure you can see it's starting to yellow up. These will start to get yellow when they tell that they're bad. They have a little life in them. You can sell it. It is soaking up moisture and stuff. We're probably going to go one more time with those since we have our added bags. But really, pull these out and just give it a shake, see if there's any filament, if there's any dust, if there is dust and stuff. If we do keep these things closed all the time, especially because of those the filament we use. So just a quick blowout. Sometimes your filament has an issue and it tries to run and it puts a little extra, like, I don't know what you'd call it, filament, we'll call it filament shmoo up in here on the gears. And for the most part, these look very good. Now you can open these up super easy. If you have a jam in here, or you have some backup material up in here and it won't feed into your printer, really simple to do. Do we want to do that? We want to open it up for them? Okay, we're going to take these two screws out, and that's all it takes to get this thing opened up. So we're just going to go ahead. It uses the same Allen that it does for the rest of the printer, the one that comes with the printer. So we'll go ahead and loosen these up. And right in here, there is like a paddle switch. And what we're going to do is we're going to depress that paddle switch and pull out our tube. Now this is very simple, only those two screws, and we're going to come here, we're going to just get that out of the way, turn it, slide it, and on the back you see there's two cables. If you're not getting in here and you just want to look to make sure that there's no debris, you can leave those plugged in. If not, just give them a little pull. The whole thing will fall out. You can hear my screws coming out. You can set this aside, inspect the tub. I'm going to grab my little screws, and then as we check this out, really simple but a very genius design. This is where they all come together. So we have had instances where I've had to pull this apart and check in here because there was a jam. It kept popping our little filament tube out. So you can, if you want, just take out all four of your inlets, squeezing that little black tab. And then whether you have an issue or not, you can just come in here, put a little air to them, blow out any debris, look if there's any filament that's got caught in this, and it's running very smooth. So yeah, just a sneak peek. I'm gonna go ahead and put these back. Obviously, you want to go back in order. So the furthest one on the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, give them a little tug backwards, make sure they're in there so you don't got to get back in this thing. We're going to set this thing down kind of vertical. These cords, you can't mess them up. There's only one place they can go, so they're both different. So we're going to scoot this kind of close. I'll use my left hand if I can. Bring the machine closer, a little closer. Pop that one in. Over here, pop that one in, nice and secure. Check. Now we're gonna kind of wedge this in this way. There's a little bit of a tolerance with this, so I usually depress it. Scoot it past. Seat it down all the way and put your screws back in. And that's really all we do for that besides clean the case. Your AMS is good to run some more filament. Put your incandescent bags in, or whatever they're called. Silicone bags. Hook this back up to the printer and put your filament in. Ding. Okay guys, so that's pretty much the maintenance we take on our X1 carbons. If you like the video, leave a like, let us know in the comments, and subscribe if you feel like it. We're gonna do more videos like this. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.